Hello and welcome to my channel Green Lion Goddess Tarot. This full moon in Aries potentially brings a lot of volatility, a lot of polarity in relationships, heightened tensions. The balance in relationships needs to be resolved with this full moon. And with the square to Jupiter, this moon could make issues bigger or amplified than what they were originally. That little small issue that was annoying you around that person, because it's very much going to affect us in relationships, could get totally blown up and amplified. It's like, oh, that annoys me and irritates me a little bit, but then it's like, boom, it just blew into this whole other thing. So this is going to be quite dynamic and dramatic full moon in Aries, the fire starter, the first sign of the zodiac, and it's happening on the 6th of October at 14 degrees of Aries. The moon will be at 14 degrees of Aries and the sun will be at 14 degrees of Libra. So the first card we have is go on an adventure. Today's the day to try something daring. Well, that's a very Aries type energy. And interestingly, the ruler of this moon, Mars, is in its other home sign of Scorpio. So it's very deeply passionate energy, this Mars type energy. It could even get quite obsessive, Mars in Scorpio. It's like, I want to go deep. This is what I want to do. It could be feeling really motivated, even very strategic and passionate. And it could get quite fixed on its direction. It's like, this is what I'm doing. Whereas the fire starter energy of Aries is like, let's just jump in and do this other thing. And so you might need this energy of flexibility and needing to be a little bit flexible that's coming through with this. So there's this hot-headed energy around it, and Mars, the ruler of the moon, is pretty comfortable, and it's been squaring off against its big brother Pluto. So there's some kind of emboldened confidence that's been coming through with this. But now we have Mercury, our minds, moving into the sign of Scorpio as well on this day of the full moon. And this is where our minds could get into this fairly intense place, this fairly place where we might even be really assessing situations. We might be hearing about secrets. We might be holding secrets. It might be a sense of, I know when to say something and I know when to not say something. And so it could even be you're starting to get a bit suspicious. These things can come up within relationships. A lot is going to be stirred up around this. So there's a lot of stuff coming in because there could be things like challenges to status and authority, power imbalances within relationships. Its energy is not afraid to stir the pot at all. And it's also very courageous and passionate. So this energy of go on an adventure, today is the day to try something daring, is actually an interesting energy. I want to pull some advice around that. So let's see what's happening in the higher realms when it comes to this full moon. We've got cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. Okay, so I feel like that's it. We might feel like this happened, I remember, for the full moon, the last full moon in Pisces, which was an eclipse. It felt like we all got cracked open. And I was like, oh, not again. Cracked open again, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. So if something feels like it gets cracked open for you, and it might feel like it's kind of truth gets exposed or it reaches a rock bottom level in some way, understand that these energies are here for a reason. They are here to create some kind of alchemy or change in our life, and to see what that is as we move through this energy. It might feel like you need a little bit of reassurance going through it. So let's have a look at some affirmations around this. What can we got? We've got, there's plenty for everyone, including me. The ocean of life is lavish with its abundance. All my needs and desires are met before I even ask. My good comes from everywhere and everyone and everything. And so it's going to be on this relationship axis where it's going to be this energy of all my needs and desires are met before I even ask. This energy of it's lavish with abundance. So if I have something good, it's not taking away from you as well. And so finding that balance in relationships between the give and take, the giving and receiving. And this is something that, and being able to express your desires. This could be any kind of relationship coming in, and to be able to put yourself first, but still consider the other person as well, or not feel like you're putting somebody else's considerations in front of yours. There needs to be this balance. And that's one of the things that is coming through with this full moon. So that's why these themes of control, power, passion, hidden desires, not wanting to accept second best, challenging authority could come through. So let's look at some stories of the moon and how that can come out. The Queen of Crystals, comfort and prosperity. Here's the beautiful Queen of Pentacles, just happy in her little home, nurturing comfort and prosperity. So let's see what happens with that as we move through the story of this full moon. Let's see what is coming in around this. The Three of Wands, here comes the young Emperor. He's like, I'm not happy being in my little comfortable space. The young Emperor, which is a very Aries type energy, says, I'm ready to expand and grow. And so I'm ambitious. There's new ambitions that are coming through with this. It's like something flowing in, something flowing out. What is coming? What part of your life are you ready to expand and grow? We've got the Knight of Cups. It could be that you're looking for love and romance, or you're looking for something that feels like a new desire in some way with that Knight of Cups. Here comes the Tower card. Again, there could be volatility with this full moon. There could be truths being revealed with this true moon. There could be this pressure cooker situation where something could explode. It could quite literally be like you just feel like, oh, I'm going to explode with this person, or you could even have a big fight with someone, or just this build up of frustration and tension, because the Six of Pentacles speaks of balance here. And that is the energy that needs to come through. We need to have a balance between your needs and somebody else's needs. And that could all happen in quite a dramatic fashion. It could be like, okay, you're taking too much and you need to give a little bit more, or vice versa. And so that could all reach a bit of a head, and an issue could reach a head, but it could be just exactly what's needed to transform this situation and this relationship here. And here's the Queen of Fire, being an Aries full moon. It's about understanding the Queen of Fire is very ambitious. She's very warm. She attracts things. She's a leader, and yet she's very discerning about the opportunities she's attracting towards her at this moment in time. So even though she's not afraid to dare or try something daring or do something big and bold with this energy, it also feels like some of these big ideas need a level of discernment with them. So it's not necessarily jumping into something that, well, you could jump into something if you do jump into something and it feels like, oh my goodness, okay, this landed somewhere that it had to land in this place, but in some way, like, it landed in a place because it needed to crack something open when it came to an imbalance within yourself, your relationships, and your life. And ultimately what this energy wants to do is to transform this ability to be able to find the joy in your life and put yourself first in a way that doesn't feel like you are somehow sacrificing or taking from someone else. So let's see what is transforming here, because we do have Mercury challenging Pluto and we have the King of Cups. So the King of Cups can be this particular deck. This is the King is quite vulnerable and has been hurt before and is quite sensitive. But at the same time, there's a quiet strength and integrity coming in with this King of Cups and saying, yes, I've been hurt. But at the same time, I can regather my strength. I can trust my heart. I can trust my intuition. I can gather the forces within my emotions and learn to harness my emotions so that I can still move through the world with an open heart without fear of being hurt. And so it feels like being able to be open and vulnerable, to be able to be sensitive and connected all at the same time, is something that could get quite transformed here, as long as there's no things like coercion, abuse, manipulation. These are some of the darker elements that could come through with this, even violence. It needs to have the balance within a relationship. You can both be happy. And like I said, this is about consideration. It's also about finding that balance. It could be around negotiation, but it starts with you, what's going on deep inside of you with this King of Cups. And it's about you remaining in your integrity. So you're not giving away your power. You're not giving something away at the expense of a relationship, at the expense of yourself within a relationship, I should clarify. Because if you're standing in your own truth and power and understanding your own emotional needs, this King of Cups can be very calm within a storm. And it's saying that the answer lies within you and how you're feeling, not necessarily what the other person's doing or what's happening externally to you. And if you can find that place within you where you're feeling calm, then you can move through these waters and move through this full moon energy with a greater sense of understanding and with a calmer presence, ability to kind of transition and move through this energy and to be able to transform the situation or relationships in your life. So I want to pull another message from these cards, and we've got a time to remember, look back on your childhood. I'll just make sure I haven't got another one. So yeah, it could feel, this King of Cups could be feeling a little bit nostalgic to the past. It might be, there might be some tender memories coming up for you, or even vulnerable memories that are coming up for you, or even happy memories, nostalgic memories can come up for you. But there's something here where it's like a question of, how did I get to where I am? What's being revealed to me and illuminated to me at this moment in time about relationships? And how can I stand in my truth and integrity and still listen to my heart as I move forward through this? So I'm going to pull a message, a soul message. What is the soul message coming through with this? Again, this energy of innocence with the lamb, it comes very much connected to inner child. So inner child could feel like it is needing to be reassured in some way. It could be needing to be listened to in some way. It could be needing some kind of attention that can come through with this, with the lamb energy. And it feels like you might find yourself in a very tangible and new place. It could even feel quite raw, I have to say, like something's been cracked open with this full moon. And yet it has the potential for balance to be restored and transformation to come in, especially transformation around the vulnerabilities inside your heart. And so I'm going to talk to Archangel Michael, because I do think that we're going to need some divine help or assistance with this energy as we're moving through it. So Archangel Michael, please be here and present today. Please give us the messages that we need to hear today, moving through this full moon in Aries. What is the message we need to hear moving through this energy for this full moon in Aries? What is the message we need to hear? Okay, I can feel the presence of Archangel Michael now. And yeah, a lot's coming out with it. The fact it was quite like, oh, suddenly it was like volatile. Let's see what we've got. Oh, lots of messages. So we might need lots of messages, a lot of reassurance. Okay. Yes, you are correct. You have listened to your inner guidance and made a wise choice. Keep moving forward. And that's what the King of Cups does. And that is the thing that can transform a situation, or could be transformative energy for you at this moment in time. Recognize the signs from above. Angels are sending you messages now, but you're too distracted to notice. Stay alert and open to the divine guidance. So this is interesting, because when I tune into this full moon energy, a lot of us are quite connected to the higher realms, to the soul realms, to the divine realms, to just the intuitive realms. But I do feel like there is opportunity for that with any full moon. But I also feel like we are going to be dealing with a lot of stuff in terms of relationships on the human realm. And so we might get distracted. And Archangel Michael's just reminding us that the angels are still around, and don't forget to seek divine guidance if you need it. Okay, so let's see what else, what other messages we have. Open your heart. No one is perfect. Stop judging yourself and others, and let love heal this situation. That is probably an absolutely perfect and spot on message to get. And this one's reversed, which I'm going to read it as more of an internal energy, something that we need to feel deep down or internalize. And I'm going to turn it around. It says, trust your angels. Let go of your expectations of how your dreams will come true. Trust that heaven has a perfect plan. Okay, so that's part of this opening your heart. Beautiful. And then final message from Archangel Michael. We've got, your loved ones are safe. Let go of your fear and worry for your loved ones. I'm looking after them. Thank you. And it's time to play. You're working too hard and worrying about everything. Seek out joyous experiences to bring balance into your life. And again, that energy of balance. And again, it's going to be this balance between inner child and the Mother, the Queen of Wands. So we all have a parent energy within us. We all have inner child energy within us. And we need to find the balance between the two, because inner child needs the parent and the parent needs to feel the joy of the inner child. Otherwise, it's too serious. So an inner child needs to feel safe to go out and play and know that there's a parent around. And so it's finding that balance. And I feel like it's something more internal to us, but around us. So this could be a really great time for, going out, listening, connecting in, doing inner child meditations. This is what I would be doing, but I'm actually away as I'm recording this. I'm in Japan on a holiday. I've pre-recorded this. And interestingly, I have not been able to record a meditation, but that's what I would be recording, checking in with inner child, do a little bit of inner child healing, bring in the part of you that is the parent part of you, do a little bit of healing on that. Check in what the thing is that wants to bring you joy, that wants to bring you happiness here. And that might be the part that says, yes, I want to go on a little bit of an adventure with this. The children are always curious, or want to, when they're feeling safe, they want to go on adventures, they want to try new things out. And that is ultimately the higher potential of this full moon in Aries, is to show us where we can find these balances between joy and being the child and going on, following the joy and going on these open and curious adventures in life, versus the adult part of us, which does have to turn up, go to work, be serious, have relationships, be responsible for things. And if we need to find the balance between the two of them, and that is ultimately the illumination of this full moon that is going to be reflected back to us within relationships, mirrored back to us. And we're going to learn a lot about what that means within relationships and how balance can be restored. So that is the beautiful full moon energy. I do not have a meditation to offer you, but I do have a free Celtic Cross masterclass that I can offer you. That is the spread that I am most known for. It is a beautifully famous spread. And I have a masterclass that, that I read this spread in all of my monthly readings. It's something I've been doing for like the last 5 years. It is absolutely my favorite spread. And so I've made a little free masterclass where I lift the veil on my process, really, and explain what it is that I'm doing. So that is available for you. And the link for that will be in the description box below. And please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to read your comments, and take care.